Hello and welcome back to Fecal Matters. And yes, we did in fact generate a whole ass theme song. How have you not? Have you never heard our theme song before? Like we've had it
No,
for months
I
now.
like how you said we, even though
Okay,
even though I did
that's
nothing.
true. You literally did fuck all. You were as surprised as anybody the day I was like, "Hey Scott, guess what?" You were like, "What?" I was like, "I made us a theme song," and you're like, "What? A theme song?" And I played it. And you're like, "Wait, why does this song actually bang so
I,
hard?"
I I like how you put words in my mouth, but
You
it's not
did.
wrong.
You
But
did
like
say it. You did
I
say
said, it was pretty cool.
outwards. No, you outright said. You said that song actually goes weirdly hard. For an AI generated song, you admitted it was like that song goes weirdly hard. I
It's
remember.
it's pretty good.
It goes pretty fucking good, man. It's pretty hard. Welcome back to Fecal Matters, everybody. This is, of course, JLock TV's Fecal Matters, a show where we talk about dumb shit. Over here is, of course, our wiener slinging co-host, Skittles. We have put new backgrounds up. It was time to make the channel a little prettier. I've been working at it a little bit at
Yeah,
a time.
here,
You
my
know what else would
background
help
real
is if I
quick.
actually like turned my fucking lights on.
So
Like
that's my back. Hang on, let me turn my chair.
I'm not
There,
going.
there you go.
I'm
That's
not
that's
going to
my
this much
background right
effort.
there.
I'm not going to. I'm just. This
But
is fine. This is fine.
I'm pretty happy with it though. So
It is. It's pretty cool. I love that your hot dog cart is now just in the middle of a busy street because
I
fuck
yeah,
everybody else apparently, right? Like
exactly.
he said,
Which
I'm doing business here. You get out of my
I'm doing
neighborhood.
business. Go around.
Get your hot
I'm
dogs
selling
here.
here.
You get some hot dogs here. Who wants some
Get the hot
coffee?
dogs before I get removed by police again.
And of course, welcome back, of course, Curb and Kate. I appreciate whenever you guys are here. Always chime in whenever you feel like it because it definitely helps us. Good job, guys. Red J-Lock. Someone understands that I do 90% of the work around here besides Scott. Somebody does.
Of course, I understand that you do most of the work. Otherwise, like if you wanted me to do any work, I don't know if we'd have an effective podcast.
Says takes. God, that's true though. Curb says takes a whole new meaning to drive through hot dog stand.
Exactly.
Just drive
Which
through the hot
it,
dog stand.
I mean, look, in stop and go traffic, it would be amazing.
Okay, I just want to point out though, I love that in the image, the dude, like obviously you guys are seeing only part of it, but in the original image, matter of fact, why don't I just pull it up real quick? I'll even just put it right into the stream and then delete it after. In the original image, the I don't know why the AI thought this was the way to do it, but it's hilarious to me. In the original image, you can see that they have in fact put up cones so that customers can approach the hot dog cart safely in the middle of traffic. I mean,
On
I
the
don't.
wrong side of the road, by the
I
way.
yeah. Well, Japan. You look
Oh
around. This
well.
is clearly like Japan or Korea or something inspired by it. Like everybody's very Asian. Like I'm just saying, it's hilarious because it's like, yeah, I don't think you'd actually get away with that in that country
I would
either.
never get away with this.
Fucking funny though. I was laughing my ass off from beginning to end. That shit had me giggling when we were making it. I was like, but also, it's kind of a sick looking image, and the color scheme is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I
It's
love it.
fucking
Although,
beautiful.
although I do like the prompt that I gave you.
Oh, the one that gave us some, like, literally the most heavenly hot dog stand ever
It's
for
like,
no
hey,
good
hot
reason.
dogs.
This is the one we wanted to use, but it didn't quite work because it's so square. And
Yeah, it
then the one
wouldn't
he's
work.
talking about right now is where to go. I think this is it. Yeah. This one, which says, hey, hot dogs. And it's clearly in heaven.
And you got angels like kneeling and praying towards the
I
hot dog cart.
I hate this. As much as I love this, I hate this. Like, it says, hey, hot dogs. Like, I don't know. So AI is funny, right? Because you can have a conversation with AI, and AI can still manage to make the weirdest phrases when you make an image. It says, hey, hot dogs. And I'm just like, Scott, it's time to rebrand to Hey Hot Dogs. That's your new business name. Hey,
Probably. I
hot
apparently.
dogs.
Hey, hot dogs.
Because, oh my God, why is that actually catchy, though, when you think about it, though, right? Somebody comes out of a bar drunk and they're like, "Hey, hot dogs! I
Hey, hot
see what you
dogs!
did there. I'm gonna buy all the hot dogs."
Brought to you by Hey Hot Dogs LLC.
Shut the fuck up. What a fucking start to an episode, though.
Oh man.
Also owned by JLock TV Incorporated.
So, David, I got something here that I already know
Thanks, Curb. Appreciate that.
that I know you're just gonna absolutely hate.
I forgot
So-
how long that one goes, by the way.
So, anyway, which actually that works out perfect for this.
Oh,
but,
Jesus Christ.
so
What
I
is
bought
it?
I bought one of the forbidden cereals from Walmart tonight.
What did you buy?
The,
No!
It's
No!
the family size limited edition Kellogg's Peeps marshmallow flavored cereal with marshmallows artificially flavored. Enlarged the
Hey.
with Peeps chicken bunny shaped marshmallows cereal.
Okay, put that in front of the camera again. Really make that fit the frame. Pull back a little because you're getting green screened out by it. Okay, I guess
Well-
that doesn't fucking matter. You're just too. It's too chroma'd. It's too chroma'd. I can't do much about
it's too
it.
chroma'd. So
So
yeah.
you have chosen death and diabetes. Agreed.
yep. So anyway, hang on. I'm gonna open this up.
No, tell me they're at least tell me they're peep shaped.
Oh yeah, no, the marshmallows are peep shaped.
Oh, the marshmallows
So,
are
but,
not the corn cereal.
Yeah, but they they're
Eh.
circles.
Okay, so that's like I'm 85% disappointed, and then the other 15% is I'm disappointed twice by the fact that it's not just all peep shaped. I'm not gonna
I
lie,
mean,
like
Yeah, because I mean, like for the
it wouldn't be
marshmallows,
that hard to build a former that would make them all peep shaped.
Nope. Hang on. Yeah,
Bro,
they're
that's
they're
not how
bunny
life
shaped.
works. It wants to focus on your face. That's how things work, bro.
But hang on.
Bro, AI detection sees your face first, bro. I don't see anything on the screen. Those marshmallows do not show up the way you think they do.
Well, I know they. Oh, I'm just saying that they look like bunnies.
Oh my god.
But the yellow ones actually look like the duck peeps.
Scott, I figured out what I want for my birthday.
The death of humanity for making peeps.
No. I mean, if we're talking like that, it's death to Congress. But what I really want you to get is a better
It's pretty
fucking
sugary.
camera. That's what you can do for my birthday is get you a better camera.
Oh, get me a better. I need to get myself a better camera. That's what.
Hey,
you
look.
want for your birthday.
That's what I want for my birthday. I want you to get a better camera for my birthday for you.
Well, why don't you just get me a better camera for my birthday? Because my birthday.
See, that's not the same because that's just getting myself a gift at that point. How sugary? She must know. How sugary are they?
It's like if I had to. So it's not as sweet as Fruity Pebbles, but it's definitely more sweet than vanilla Cheerios.
Hold on a second though. What do you mean my bit rate?
I would say Waffle Crisp.
Herb, my bit rate is like I'm running at 6300 bits.
Are you talking about my bit rate?
Maybe yours, but definitely not mine. My bit rate's great.
I don't know. Might be me.
I'm firing at 6300 bits at all times.
Well, I also think we
kilobits,
should
but
be-
whatever.
I also think we should switch over to like StreamYard or something.
Do what?
Well, it's a streaming platform. You can have.
I like
multiple people
OBS.
streaming into it.
Oh, I see what
like
you're
OBS.
trying to say. I
So,
don't know.
yeah, so you use OBS to stream into it, and it cuts down a lot on the processing, and so it's a lot of cloud-based processing.
I don't know. I like how much control I have over OBS. Really? Is that a cat?
Yes.
Are you just shoving pussy in everyone's face?
No, I'm not doing anything. She's doing this all by herself.
Oh, okay. There's a
I'm
cat just in the fucking camera now.
Yep.
That was weird.
She wants attention.
That was weird. I don't like it. That was weird. I thought
Here,
you were
baby.
doing it on your own. I was like, did he just
Oh,
fucking
come here,
shove
baby.
a cat in front of the camera?
Hi, baby.
Hi, cat.
And you want?
Oh, she's
She
cute.
wants to stay on my chest.
She's sweet.
She is super cute. She's a sweet little baby girl.
Let me put my cat on the mic. TTS. I don't think TTS works well with cats though. Just types random mewling sounds. What would TTS even do if you did that? Just randomly
I have no
typed in
idea.
fucking feral cat sounds. But anyways, so speaking of AI, because we were just discussing AI and how AI is a little bit weird, Google Gemini has managed to piss off left and right,
Everybody.
left and right wing, everybody in general, all at once. When okay, you know what it was? Like, first of all, founding fathers and all that, when they started making like the founding fathers black, that was like, okay, that got weird fast, but whatever.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of
I
people
thought I
just
thought
overlooked it.
it was more comical than anything else because everyone knows that they weren't. But it was a bit on the nose for some people.
It was a bit on the nose. No, the one that really took the headlines that I'm still laughing about even now because I have a sick sense of humor. Somebody told them to make an image of a 19 or I think it was 1940s. I think it was
Oh, was it the
1940s.
KKK members?
No. They wanted 1940s German soldiers. It was either 19 or 18. I'm pretty sure it was
Oh.
1940s German soldiers, which yes would have been, das Nazis. But the thing is, it made a bunch of black Nazis. It started generating images of black Nazis, which went over really poorly, really fast.
I mean, look, I'm just gonna say, BLM is not too far off.
I mean, we're not going to get into that right now. To be fair, we all have our feelings on BLM. I've got some pretty tasteless memes about BLM because I was pretty upset that parts of my city were being shut down because they were burning and looting everything. But whatever. I what's done is done at this point. It's not like they're a super active group anymore the way they were. Because, politics have moved away from that as a primary source of winning elections. But yeah, I'm still just laughing my ass off because it was just like, oh my god, why would you make something that does this? And the thing is, like, I feel like when people program, sometimes they forget that at the end of the day, these AIs, they're robots. They really only do what you're telling them to do. So when you tell a robot to be extremely inclusive, it's going to be extremely inclusive no matter what you type in. Oh, you want an animated picture of George Washington? Here's a black George Washington. Oh, you want a German soldier from the 1940s in World War II? Well, here's a Nazi black guy. Like, there's nothing you could do because the bot doesn't know it's doing wrong. Like, that's the problem, right? These companies are making these things that are trained to be inclusive or whatever. The bot doesn't know what it's doing is wrong. It's just doing what the bot was told to do. At the end of the day, artificial intelligence is just that. It's very artificial. It's going to be a hell of a lot better at making an equation function than it is at actually doing what you ask it to. It's the whole conversation I had the other day with you, how at the end of the day, if I want something extremely specific, AI is never going to make up for a real artist. Same thing with what we were talking about earlier. I can't use AI to make the emote I want to make right now. It will not do it because of guidelines, for first of all. And second of all, it can't make anything animated. So, like, I'm not going to be able to make that emote until I go out of the way to pay an artist to make it for me. It's that simple. I'm not going to be able to bypass an artist on that one. But to generate, like, our backgrounds today, that took me a couple of minutes. I didn't have to wait for an artist. I didn't have to pay commissioning fees. When the art came back not the way I wanted it, I just requested another submission. No, because I didn't know what the hell I wanted right away. I just knew I wanted something different and brighter and prettier and more on theme.
Yeah. It's
So it
just running
works.
numbers and letters. That's all it is.
Bots just do what they're supposed to do. That's it. Bots are programmed. They're not smart enough to create really intensive thought on their own. So if you train it to make black Nazis, it's going to make black Nazis. If you train it to be really woke, it's going to tell you fucked up things that aren't necessarily true. If you train it to do the right things, it'll do the right things. That's it.
Although I do remember the one it was like an earlier AI, like it was like a couple years ago, that was released on Twitter, and within a matter of like a week, it turned into a white supremacist.
Wait. Oh yeah, the one that was like infinitely trainable, right?
Yeah,
Like the whole time it was up, it was still learning. It wasn't actually being it was training as it went.
yep.
Yeah, I
And they took it
remember
down
that.
because it turned into a white supremacist.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember they had to take it off because like everybody thought it'd be really, really funny to feed it as much like anti-Semite and like anti-black shit as possible. And it just immediately turned into something it really shouldn't have. I remember that really,
It
really
was
well.
it
Well, and
was
that was the experiment where they realized that they couldn't just release a bot into the public and pray for the best. Like they actually have to teach these damn things ahead of time.
it's like, hey, you're not supposed to say these things.
And it would say some pretty harsh slurs in response to you telling it what it
Oh
could and
man.
couldn't say. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that was damn, that was some years ago now, wasn't it? Five,
Oh
six,
man.
at least.
I don't remember. Like I'd have to look it up. AI decommissioned for turning white supremacist. I'm sure that'll open up something.
I'm sure
I'm
it's going
sure
to
that
open up more than you expected, and not things you needed to open up.
Okay, so March 24th, 2016. So
Yeah,
this is from Vice,
yeah, it was
which
8
we all
years
know is
ago.
Vice is a terrible.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not a
they
good
used to be
news network.
good. I miss Vice. I miss when Vice was good. I really do. There was a time when Vice was awesome, and now it's like, man, you guys forgot that the whole point of Vice was to talk about Vice things, dark things, things that were not like good for people, or things that were kind of unsavory, or weird traditions in other countries that most people would be like, yo, what the fuck?
I don't know how much of this I'm allowed to say on
Nope,
stream,
you're not going to. We're just going to leave it alone.
but let's just say if you want to know what it was saying, you can Google that same thing and it'll pull it
It
up
was
right on.
saying a lot of things. I remember because it was all over Twitter. It was all over Twitter at the time. Speaking of things that are funny that I'm laughing about, have you heard about the outrage around Tifa in Final Fantasy VII?
I don't know anything about the outrage when it comes to Tifa. The last thing I heard about Tifa was some random, I think it was like a Swedish uh, politician that got in trouble for having pornography of Tifa
Oh,
showing showing in a meeting.
well, let me tell you, this isn't far from that. So, so what it ended
Is it
up
because
is, well, what they did is part of like the promotional stuff that's been going around, because Rebirth is like either launching like tomorrow or launching sometime before the end of this week. So they've been pushing more promotional material to make sure people are thinking about Final Fantasy VII, right? And Herb gave me judgment look in the chat. But they have released promotional material showing Tifa in a bikini.
well, she is a very hot character.
And yeah, and they did not hold back on the booba. Like it's all there. It's very there.
I might need to do some research real quick. Hang on.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up.
Hang on. Check.
See, like, look, beach and swimsuit are the first things you get when you look up Tifa Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hold on.
Oh,
Here
is
we
it safe for
go.
stream?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't want the fucking video though. Hold on. Slow
Just
your
gotta-
roll.
Just making sure that we're adhering to SFS standards here.
The worship. Continue without disabling. Hold on. Sun's out. Sephiroth. Here we go. So they made. That is what Tifa looks like in the bikini.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of a hell yeah thing. And what everyone's basically talking about is there's two parts of the audience. There's the part that's like, finally, a return to normalcy, attractive women in fantasy video games about fantasy. Like, Cool. We're glad. We're happy about it. And then there's the camp that wants everyone to be as ugly as hell because that's what normal people would look like. And it's like,
represented in this image.
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Is the number. Why do I walk in on women in bras and undies? Because they're gorgeous. Look at it. Look at them. But like, they're not in bras and undies. They're in bikinis. But like,
It's
swimsuits, bikinis, whatever. All the same to me. But like, that's exactly it, right? As everyone was like, oh, you're just doing this for the fan service. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Because there's nothing wrong with it. Just like they make male characters look hot. There's nothing wrong with what I'm seeing here.
The double standards are real because men see a hot male character and think, man, I want to look like him. I want to get jacked like him. I want to be able to swing a sword just like that. I better go to the gym.
And that's Kate actually just made the correct point, though. She doesn't care as long as you don't expect me to look like that. And that's the reality, right? Okay? Porn, for example, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Porn was always meant to be a fantasy. It was not supposed to be this super overly consumed shit that it's become. It's not supposed to be everybody on there is like talking to you. There was always supposed to be a pretty large degree of separation from porn star to consumer. And I think OnlyFans has kind of lost that a little bit. Like with the messaging and everything, which I mean, you're not really messaging them. It's usually a management team or something that you're talking to that's just like paid to do the messaging for them.
Right.
But like,
yeah,
that's the controversy right now is everyone's mad because they've made Tifa and Aerith look super attractive, but they were supposed to be super attractive. I remember the first time I watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, the movie, and I was like, oh my god, Cloud's hot, Sephiroth is hot, Tifa is hot, everyone is hot and cool and badass, and I am living Final Fantasy right now. Like, that was huge. So it's really funny, but everyone's really butthurt. And they're like, oh, look, they're so over attractive. Oh, it's so fan service. Yes. Look, fan service is good.
Not everyone is going to end up looking like these fantasy characters. Not everyone can have that Danny DeVito bod with a 14-inch cock and everything. You can't. It's just not going to happen for everybody.
Did you just say Danny DeVito with a 14-inch cock? Okay, hold the phone. What the
Sorry,
fuck?
I dropped my Magnum condom for my
Magnum dong. God, I love that fucking line. That's if you guys have never seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia, can't recommend it enough. It's weird, right? Because I like intelligent TV. I really do. That isn't it. It's one of the dumbest shows I've ever fucking watched, and I've watched so many of the episodes twice.
Except you have so much of it that actually is kind of intelligent how they put it together.
It's clever because it's written in a way to help the viewer understand that at no point should these characters be treated as good or serious. They're awful. They're awful in every meaningful way. And yet, it's so fucking dumb. It's mind-rottingly stupid at the same time. I don't know why I still love watching it, but I do. I love watching Always Sunny, and I fucking hate myself for it all the time. Anyways, reading on to some comments in the chat right now. Dude, I'm bi. My man and I have legit looked at a woman in a show and both commented on how hot her ass was. Laughing my ass off. I actually have a follow-up story to that that's fucking hilarious.
Is it about you and Courtney in the strip club?
Not quite. Not far from it, but not quite either. People will find anything to complain about. I agree. I feel like people choose to objectify themselves, then it's okay for others to do it. However, as a woman with a larger chest, sometimes it's uncomfortable when I'm not trying to show off and someone tries to ogle me. Yes, that's very relatable. I would agree with both of you on that. I also have a larger chest, and I don't like it when people ogle me either.
Well, apparently,
it might be a little different reason for that. It's in chat.
I'm looking at chat. It's not updating.
You might need to just fucking refresh. You've missed conversation. I promise it's there. Keep in mind, my chat comes through OBS, so I get a more direct link than you.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting anything. So I wonder, is that on Kick or something?
No, I don't have Kick running at all. I haven't used Kick in months.
Hang on. If I go back into the Nope, it doesn't even update on my side. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I don't get it.
Scott is having
Like, chat.
issues.
See new messages. Yep. Apparently, I'm having issues. I don't understand. Oh man, my life has been nothing but issues lately.
I'm only being a bit of a smartass on stream right now.
Well, I saw that just now, Kate.
Did you see
So
what I
get
did
it.
just now, though?
No, I didn't. Oh,
You're going back into lurk mode? We'll miss you. Love you. But anyways. No, it's...
so
So.
yeah. Besides the point, yeah. No, I mean, fantasy is meant to be fantasy.
Yes.
You know, but if you're gonna sexually objectify yourself, you don't get to choose how people react to you.
I believe that, yeah. I agree.
You know, I actually got blocked by somebody that said, "How do I dress sexually? How do I dress in a sexual manner and then but not get ogled by men?" I'm like, you can't. That's not how this works.
Well, and here's the thing.
Like, you don't get to.
It's called peacocking. I'm sorry, but that's what it is at the end of the day. It's called peacocking. If you are dressing because you want to look nice, then do that. Dress nice. Dress in a nice blouse. Dress in a cute sundress. Dress in, good pants and a properly fitting shirt. But if you want to dress sexually, the term is right there. The term is sexually. If you want to dress in a fashion that is sexual, that really exemplifies the sexuality of your body, it's an invitation, sweetheart. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not being a misogynist either. It's an invitation. If I were a very attractive man walking around with my shirt off, a fucking six-pack, and my cock hanging out, yeah, everyone's going to be looking at me too. I might go to jail, but everyone's going to be looking.
Let's see. If it were a crop top, even if it was my friend, I know people are going to, people are going to look at,
Yeah.
If people see boobs, people are going to look.
Like, boobs are boobs.
Boobs.
Here's the thing. As on top of that, I think it's so funny because men get such a bad rap for it when we've been looking at boobs our whole life. So we actually try to be kind of discreet about it. Like, we'll kind of be walking past. We'll notice you on our way by, and we'll just kind of give you the damn kind of look, right? Like, okay, shit, I see that.
Yeah, no, we're
going to be a little bit more discreet. What's really funny to me
we're not going to be doing this whole thing.
Damn, that's a nice rack. Wow. Wowzers.
Jesus Christ. But like, when it comes to women, they're so much more blunt about it. It's hilarious to me. Because women will say things to other women that if I was trying to even just be complimentary, it'd be like a go to hell kind of thing. Like, a good example of this, literally the other day, my wife had our friend over from work. And like, they were just outside smoking, enjoying themselves. My wife was dressed real pretty, real cute, tight pants, like looking good. And the friend that was over got kind of high. She was sitting there and she basically looked at my wife and she's like, "You have the juiciest fucking thighs." And I'm just sitting here like, if I said that to a random person or any of my female friends, I'd get smacked. I would get the life smacked out of me immediately. I would be out an extra tooth. It'd be that quick. All right.
Yeah, there's lots of things that women can say to each other that no guy could ever say to a woman.
I'm just saying, imagine
without getting in trouble.
Scott, I would never say that to another man. I would never go up to you and be like, "Dude, you have the juiciest ass." Like,
I would just say thank you because that's honestly a compliment for me.
It is a compliment, but it's not something you would hear me say, and it's definitely not something you would try to say to me because
I don't know, David.
You're
looking kind of submissive and breedable today.
Okay, that whole trend, by the way, hilarious. Loved every minute of men calling each other just randomly submissive and breedable. I laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off every time when I was game streaming for years. I laughed every time a few of my viewers would come in, and that was the first thing they'd say to me every single stream. "Well, aren't you looking submissive and breedable today?" And I'd be just like, how am I supposed to fucking respond to that? I don't know where this trend came from, but my autism cannot generate a fucking response for this. The AI is broken. I cannot compute. What am I supposed to say to a man telling me I look both submissive and breedable? First of all, I don't think I've ever looked submissive a day in my life. And I can't be I'm not breedable at all. So like, the fuck does that mean? That shit was still funny as hell though. I laughed. I just like sat there like, I'm at a loss for words again. Another stream in a row. Depends on friends for me. A lot of my friends, all sorts, tell me stuff like that. And that's not to say, I'm not saying that I can't compliment those friends. Same friend that told me my wife had really like fantastic thighs. She was like kidding down on herself when I was talking to her about she doesn't like when she doesn't have makeup on because she doesn't think she's as pretty. And I told her outright, I was like, it's ridiculous that you say that. You're absolutely adorable. Like I could say things like that to girlfriends and it's fine. But if I try to be even a registered step above that, they're trying to register me on the sex offender list, okay? Like it's not something I can do as a man. I can't be as exacting and like forward with like, no, you've got like a great ass, you got nice legs, like no, I can't say shit like that. You in particular don't care? I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that that's the majority of people would not be okay with that. That's what I'm trying to get at is that it's a tough world where people are like, oh, I can't find a good guy, but also the good guys are like, man, I don't want to say shit. I might get my fucking shit kicked in for for having an opinion or telling a girl that she got a nice ass. Like, I'm trying to be complimentary. It's not meant to be anything more than that.
Yeah, no, you gotta play it careful initially, and then when you gain enough favor, you can actually say stuff like that, but not up front.
Motherfucker talking about hitting him with a forget me now. I don't know if you get that reference. To be fair, the group of friends I have make spicy. That's true. You have told me that I can't look at your artwork because it's too spicy for even my tastes, which is a lie. Unless there's like chicks with dicks, I'm probably gonna look at it. It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me.
The chicks with dicks does bother me. That gets a little bit. That gets a little weird for me. Yeah, I'm not here for it.
Fuda. Although you can just like go, there's so many rabbit holes you can go down.
In Baldur's Gate, I almost made a Fuda paladin just for fun. I was gonna call it Futombo. Futombo, the half orc paladin. Get wild audio on Reddit. Have fun. What? She said, "Lord." She doesn't like my idea of Futombo, the half orc paladin. I wanted it to be as ugly as it could get. Okay.
Maxing out intimidation.
Did you hear about that from the Pal World devs? By the way, that pissed a lot of people off. Made me laugh. This is
what they post.
I post my writing. Oh, I see what you're saying. Somebody from the Pal World.
Are you looking it up right now, David?
No. Somebody from the Pal World dev team pulled up they were interviewing them, right? And one of the interview topics was, we noticed that you didn't pick genders. You didn't put genders in the game. You just put body A and body B. And their reasoning was this. They said, it's because we know Americans like to make horribly ugly characters. Which was their roundabout way of saying they like to make chicks with dicks that look terrible. And I was laughing so hard. I was like, that's the most based thing. That's the most based thing for no reason.
Oh, man. That's great. I love it.
They really just went out of their way just to be assholes. And I'm just like, I mean, you're not wrong, though. But also, Jesus Christ, guys.
Oh, man.
Have you noticed that this year has been like the year of gaming, though?
Yes, it has. I've been doing more gaming this year.
Let's say Helldivers is fucking insane. Obviously Pal World popped all the way the fuck off.
Yep.
Last Epoch is out and it's doing amazing. Like, this year is the year of gaming for sure. Like, I feel like Baldur's Gate, like, obviously a lot of these games were already in production, But I think the success of Baldur's Gate, just doing its own thing and not giving a fuck what anybody else had to say about it, was just like a catalyst.
Also,
That and Hogwarts Legacy.
What did Hogwarts Legacy pop off?
Oh yeah, it was the top selling game of its year.
Oh yeah, I mean last year. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about this year.
No. Just in general. Just the fact that a couple of games that people were like kind of talking a lot of mess about at first ended up being just the best fucking games. Oh, you don't have any way of hiding your background fuck ups when now, do you?
No, the cats are running around trying to play with around the green screen.
But yeah,
But
that's what I'm noticing though. It's like it's the year of games, bro. Like games are popping off this year. Every single
have you seen the Apple it's like basically the Apple Oculus.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
of course.
$4,000 one.
Who hasn't seen that
Like-
weird shit all over the internet? People walking around
Like-
with that shit in public?
Yeah, because it's just like a virtual interaction because you can actually see through those things.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
My old bishop had he got released and we got a new one. But he has one of them, and it's really cool. It's really interesting.
Did he get released
But-
because he was reading his sermon off of his Apple Pro?
No, it's because his 5 years were up.
Oh, I like my version better. It's more interesting.
And
So
it's
you
pretty
can't
funny.
so you can't wear that in here. This is how I will conduct from now on. Your green screen is absolutely fucking booty wrecked again.
Yeah, I know the cat. I fixed it. The cat's messed it up.
They're wild animals.
They are. Hang on.
Oh Jesus.
They're chasing. They're playing with each other right now, which is great considering, I want them to play with each other, but
They're
they're
also being
messing up the
monsters.
green screen.
Yeah,
I know.
that's funny. Oh man. So what have you been playing then? Obviously you've been playing some Borderlands 3 because last week's Borderlands topic really got it into your head.
Yep. And I just
Anything
started
else?
spamming. No, just Borderlands. Really.
Okay.
So it's really funny. I got a grenade where I threw it and it split off into like 5 other grenades that were also just guns. So it was interesting.
Oh, I think
But-
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember what it's called though. It's been a long time since I played.
Which is funny because it wasn't doing all that much damage, but it was healing me, so I didn't care. But all my gear was like really quickly just outpacing itself.
Ah, dude,
know.
you should see mine. Mine would blow your damn mind. My gear is so stupid on my characters.
Well, I'm doing a brand new run,
I know,
so
I'm just saying my Moe's though, because I was doing like the hardest content I could with her. Oh man, she was just eviscerating everything. So
well,
speaking,
I'm playing those right now, so
yeah,
I need to
Moe's is
I
great.
need to figure out my build for her.
I think she's the strongest character in the game by quite a lot, actually. So speaking of weird things, my wife sent this one across to me the other day, and I want to share this with you all. Not this. I'm glad I didn't have it up on the screen yet, because that was
hang on,
not it.
hang on. I'm gonna open up. Hang on, I want to see this here.
I'm just gonna grab that for
That's-
myself later.
That's some nice booty.
Oh, there was more than that in front.
Well, I'm sure.
Shut up, bro.
He was
sorry,
looking at some
Gen
nice ass.
Z?
All right, here we go. Hopefully this just works. TikTok? Nope. Let's do it this way.
Didn't do it.
Let's
There
do
we
it
go.
on News View. So, I'm gonna let this run, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. And I think everybody in chat is gonna feel the same level of what the fuck that I did. Here we go.
You're now bringing your parents to your job interviews with you? What? Like, have you heard about this? So it's a thing. It's a thing. I have family all over the country, and yesterday we did a family Zoom, and my aunt, who is an attorney in North Carolina, their law firm recently had an opening for an entry-level position. And not one, But 2 of the candidates that they called in for interviews brought their mothers with them. Brought their mothers with them. One of them even asked if her mother could come into the interview room with her. What? And you know what? I do not fault Gen Z for this at all. I think I actually fault my generation, Gen X and millennials, for thinking it's okay to go to a job interview with your college graduate child. What are you thinking? And you know, my aunt said that apart from that, there were no other red flags about these candidates. Like, they were great candidates, well prepared, well educated, well qualified, but neither got the job because they brought their mom to the interview. I'm sorry, Gen Z, you're...
I have diverging opinions on this.
Could you fucking imagine? Okay, Scott, you and I worked as general managers at Little Caesars. Could you imagine if some like 18 to 20-year-old brought their fucking mom to the interview?
Which that actually did happen.
And it was bad.
It was bad.
You didn't hire that person.
No.
Because why the fuck would you? I don't need an employee that can't hold their own. You need mom to hold your hand at the interview. I can't help but assume that you need mom to hold your hand at the job. Like, if you can't get hired by your own power, how can I assume that you're going to be able to hold up to the workflow that I have presented for you?
Which this is where look, I agree. So the fact that we had the one person that had her mom with her during the interview, yeah, no, that's red flag. No thanks. We're good. But
Right.
on some level, I'm wondering, did they bring their mom to the interview because their mom was their ride because they can't afford a car because they're still looking for a job?
No. Even if that's
no.
true. No. I get where you're trying to go, but you're giving way too much credit. That is a here nor there issue. If they had the access
I'm
to
just
their...
saying.
No, let me finish. If they had access to mommy's vehicle for this interview, drive your fucking self. Most of us have a diverse enough network of friends that, like, if I was still living in Texas and I needed a car, I could borrow your car. I could borrow Mike's car. I don't know if I could borrow Sarah's, but I'd imagine in the right situation, she'd let me borrow her car too. And just vice versa to all of that, you guys would have been able to borrow mine. Like, there is a diverse enough network that if you need a vehicle, then you can do it. And if you're not able to perform a diverse enough network or create a diverse enough network in your own life, surely you probably aren't going to be very good at a job anyways. Because, like, being able to actually use the tools that are given to you or that you're surrounded with is, like, first and foremost. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know, man. To me, that's just like a big no. That's like a big no for me. You're not getting hired even for a second if you are the kind of person that can't get your own ride to work.
I mean, I think honestly, I'm willing to give some degree of leeway to someone that says that needs a ride to a job.
So
I get that.
Okay, but these aren't fast food workers.
Maybe they have their license suspended. There's a lot of external factors that it's just I don't know.
I think you're being more helpful to them than you're realizing. The premise was these are Gen Z people between like 20 and 25.
Yeah.
Fresh out of college with degrees. They were smart enough to graduate at least.
Yeah.
And they brought their mother to an interview. These are not going to be like entry-level positions in fast food. They're going to be entry-level positions in a professional career path. I know from experience, and you know from experience, what is like the most obvious question you're going to get at pretty much every interview you ever go to.
Do you have a reliable way to get to work?
100% the point that I'm trying to make to your point is that there's not an employer out there that's not going to ask that question. And if the answer is, oh yeah, my mom's sitting right here, that puts you pretty low on my list. That puts you really low on my list because I'm like, oh, so if mom has an emergency and needs the vehicle, you can't get to work, huh? That's not suitable. And I don't want someone that's going to Uber to and from work either. Not unless you're like in New York, in, LA, in one of these
Which-
more dense cities where sometimes it's easier to just take a fucking taxi.
Or the bus.
Or the
a
bus.
subway. Or
Oh god, yeah. Like I've said it before, if I lived in like Boston or New York, ever, which I'm not trying to live in New York, let's never get that twisted. Boston,
Yeah.
at some point, maybe. I like Boston. It was cool. It has its merits, like the Italian food. So good. But anyways, I'd rather take the subway 90% of the time. I'd rather walk and take the subway. Is it a little longer? Sometimes. But also, it's easier. And I don't have to pay a car payment. And I don't have to pay insurance. And turns out
Yeah.
that a good subway system will get you to almost every business you could ever work at. There's just no reason not to. It's if you guys have never taken a subway system, very fucking efficient. Like, extremely unreal how efficient $2.50 will get you from point A to point B.
I'm just saying, I can see a scenario where it could be justified, but for the majority of the times, it is a red flag. I agree.
It's more than red flag, though. Red flag implies that it's like, okay, how many green flags to my red flags? No, it's not just a red flag for me. It's a deal breaker. It 100% is. I'm sorry. Like, especially after working at Caesars, and as nice as I tried to be to all those kids and just the amount of bullshit they put me through at Caesars, because it was like, well, I don't really have a choice because these are the only people that'll work here, and if I don't keep them hired, the business basically just goes under right underneath me, and I lose my job anyways. Like, it was the most stressful part was that I just didn't have options. And
I mean, I think
I'd have fired every one of them if I could have. I'd have fired every one of them.
Beyond.
Oh yeah, Anthony stopping me from doing the things I needed to do didn't help. But God, the number of times I would try to fire somebody, or I'd be like, okay, I'll just fucking get the cops here and have them trespass you. And Anthony was like, don't you dare do anything of this sort. They deserve this job. And I'm like, oh my God, I get it. You like them. That doesn't mean they're good. Fuck, that place pissed me off, bro.
Yeah, no, I was not happy about it. I'm honestly glad that I quit the way that I did. Which is kind of a douche
aggressively, and on the way out the door.
No, I put in my 2 weeks right as I was about to go on a 2-week vacation.
Oh, I remember.
Which is so terrible. Which is not,
the quitness way to quit a job.
The quitness way to quit a job. Which honestly, I like that there's a movement where there's a growing movement. I don't know if I say quitting. I don't know. Well, no, not quiet quitting, but I don't know. I don't know if like's the right word, but I can appreciate the movement where people are just simply quitting on the spot. Where if they can, the justification is if they can fire you on the spot, you can quit on the spot.
Yeah,
you don't need 2 weeks notice.
Well, and that's the thing. A lot of people misunderstood something really important. 2-week notice is a formality. It's not a law. It's not even a rule. A 2-week notice is a formality. It's a formality that says, I enjoyed working here, but I found something better. Therefore, I'm putting in my 2-week notice because I want us to stay on good terms in case I want to come back.
Yeah.
The reality is, I don't owe you a 2-week notice. I don't owe you shit. You paid me for the work I put in. That was the exchange. From beginning to end, that was the exchange. And while I don't necessarily want to agree with that, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
It's 100% true.
The only exception to that is if you sign a contract, and that's it.
I mean, yeah, there's contracts, but we're not talking about niche cases. Like, putting in niche cases is just a waste.
That's not a niche case.
It's a pretty niche case.
There are a considerable number of contract positions where you can't simply just quit.
But
that happens a lot outside of the US. I think that's the majority of the time it happens outside of the US.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying, if you work at a 7-Eleven and you get a job that's going to pay you 3 times as much and they start tomorrow, fuck this bitch, I'm out. Like, I'm done. That's it. We're not even
Bye,
having
Felicia.
a conversation. Hey, I won't be here tomorrow. Why? What happened? My new job starts tomorrow. You didn't give me notice. Okay.
This is your notice right here.
I'll
Goodbye.
tell you what. I will tell them I can start in 2 weeks, but you've got to pay me what they're paying me for those 2 weeks. Well, we can't afford
We
that.
can't do that.
And that's why I can't stay here. I don't know why people don't understand that. To me, again, autism, right? To me, that's purely logical. You cannot pay me what this other place will pay me. If you did value me at that level, we wouldn't even be looking at me leaving. This other job, on the other hand, is not 7-Eleven, full of fucking shitty, toxic customers that leave messes and spill drinks on the ground and look at it like it's my job to fix everything. It's a new place. I'm going there. I'm going there. That's the key. And that's what I don't understand is like there's this thing, there's this toxic, we're going to use the terms that other people use. There's this toxic relationship between employers and employees where the employers feel like they're owed something beyond the work you do, and employees feel like they have to owe those bosses. And that's not the facts. They pay you X dollars that we agreed on hiring per hour for work that you do and your time and labor. That's why they came up with the term time is money, because you are exchanging your time for money at an equivalent rate to whatever they agreed your time is worth. So at the end of the day, if they do not keep the time money ratio to where it's supposed to be, maybe they're trying to like have you work off the clock, which is illegal as fuck, by the way. Don't ever get told that that's an okay and normal thing to do. I know, yeah. God, I've done it. I know you've done it. There's no way you could argue that either of us has ever not worked off the clock because we felt like we owed this business something.
Yep.
But that's the most terrible thing. That's like out of context. I guess it was just us. Well, maybe you should be listening, okay? God.
Well, this one?
That one? I mean, almost in context, really. We're basically talking about how people think they owe businesses things, so, you know.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, that's exactly it, though, is, like, never... This is expected out of you, though, bro. Oh, man. But, like, never, ever think that you owe a job anything unless that job took you... There's only 2 ways a job owes you anything. 2 ways. 1, they're overpaying you and you fucking know it. That's when you kind of owe the job something. If they're overpaying you and you fucking know it and you don't deserve to be making what you're making, that's one thing.
You do what you gotta do to keep that.
Do what you gotta do to keep that fucking job. Keep it proven that they should pay you what they're overpaying you. And 2, the second, and this is the only other occasion, a job is not only paying you well, but they're paying to train you in something that you absolutely have no fucking right to be doing.
Right.
That is the only time you owe a job something, is when they are putting actual time, effort, and money into you specifically, and not just because you're filling a warm-bodied position. If you're that good, if you've become that precious of a baby, you need to treat that fucking place as a precious gem too. Other than that, yeah. Fuck no. You don't owe them shit. 2-week notice, please. You know why they used to do 2-week notices? Because people actually had jobs that took care of them, and a 2-week notice before you went to a new job to let them try to train someone into your position was a good formality.
Yep.
It promoted a healthy relationship. Because, yep. God, I can tell you right now, who do you really owe a 2-week notice to at Burger King? How fucking hard is it to train someone to put a burger together? It's fucking minutes.
You take this out of the freezer, you put it on the charbroiler, you come over here to the other side, and you put it in the bin.
You toast the bun, you put the mayo on the bun, you put the fucking ketchup on the bun, then it's the lettuce and the tomato and the cheese and the bacon.
Will not be as satisfied because they will taste that the toppings are in the wrong order.
I mean, okay, Though technically that's kind of true though. I can tell. I can tell when the toppings are in the wrong order. It actually does matter. Like, all jokes aside, it does actually kind of matter. So I had some interesting exchanges on Twitter. Did you know that people don't know Cleopatra was born or that Cleopatra was not technically Egyptian?
Yeah, this is no, this is I've seen this. It's hilarious. People like to claim that Cleopatra was black. She's Greek. And about as white as they come.
Technically not even Greek, but very, very
Macedonian.
close. There we go. There.
Greek Macedonian descent.
So from my Twitter, memeing off of Delusional Takes, because Delusional Takes is one of my favorite follows. He always grabs other people's shit and reposts it as a meme because they're stupid. Queen Cleopatra was the queen of Egypt. Egypt is in Africa. Why is it so difficult for MAGA racists? By the way, can we just talk about the fact that it's so funny to me every time they say MAGA racists? MAGA racist. You guys know what MAGA means? It means Make America Great Again. I don't see how that makes anybody racist. I just want to see good America. But whatever. I'm not MAGA. I'm not really part of any of that shit. I'm libertarian.
The obvious retort is, when was America ever great?
A lot. There was a lot of time that America was great.
World War II?
World War II was pretty great for Americans. But anyways, ended up getting, all I wrote back was, who's going to tell them Cleopatra was Greek? Straight face. Yeah. Immediately, this dude corrected me, which he's 100% right. Macedonian to be exact. Correct, sir. And technically, for the sake of basically TLDR, because this is a kind of a longer thread, actually. The TLDR is, yes, Macedonian specifically. The thing is, everybody likes to talk about the fact that a re-enter at World War II is pretty great for America.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, that's how we got anime.
Oh, stop. And instant ramen. Stop. Oh. It was the nuking effect. They learned how to make ramen cook faster.
What, David? Have you never microwaved your instant ramen? I can't say that with a straight face. I can't.
Damn it! I'm not proud of myself for making that joke. I'm not proud of myself at all. But anyways, the TLDR is a lot of people don't know Cleopatra's history at all. They don't know that Cleopatra was not the first Cleopatra. Let's start there. Likely show them how to make minute rice more. Kraken!
Minute rice. Uncle Ben sends his regards.
No! Oh, it's not Big Man and Little Boy, it's Big Ben. Waiting for the British to come here. Did you say Big Ben?
Go away, you tea drinking piece of shit.
Hey, I like my tea drinkers. Fuck you. I talk to a lot of British people on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they don't have any taste, okay? It's fine.
Okay, they like to put beans on toast. We can let that slide for the fact that they still make jasmine tea.
You know what they do? They put toast between two pieces of bread and call it a toast sandwich.
What?
This is a real thing.
No, it's not. I will pull it up
for you. You want to bet?
No, it's not.
Hang on. Let me pull it up.
I don't like where this is going. We'll come back to the Cleopatra thing in a second when he sends me this inevitably.
I am sending this to you right now. Look at the place of origin on it.
Okay, this is Wikipedia, though. Anybody could have just made this up for fun.
Okay, in November 2011, the toast sandwich was recreated by the Royal Society in a tasting 150 years after the release of what's his name's Book of Household Management. It's a real thing, David.
I don't want to believe this, and I choose to be ignorant. Anyways, so talking about Cleopatra.
The society sought to revive the forgotten dish.
Going back to Cleopatra, you son of a bitch. So Cleopatra was not the first Cleopatra. The Cleopatra everybody talks about historically was not the first Cleopatra. He was like 7th, I think. 6th or 7th Cleopatra, okay? Because the part of Cleopatra's history that nobody likes to talk about, and that's got so many people confused and not understanding that she is Macedonian Greek. Also probably that. You're not wrong. Also probably that. No, I think she was like 6th. It was a lot. There was a lot of Cleopatras cracking. But anyways, is that the Macedonians, she was also fat as fuck. I mean, that was considered to be attractive in that time period. Yeah, fat women were considered to be successful women with lots of money and beautiful because they had luxuries that other people didn't. AKA food. Now we're on the opposite end. Now everybody has cheap carbs and high body fat counts. But anyways,
here's my dose of cheap carbs.
I hate you so much. Anyways, so what people don't realize is that Egypt is kind of right there near the Greek peninsula, and Macedonia just kind of walked across one day and was like, man, these Egyptians ain't got shit, and just ran them down. They just took over Egypt. That's what happened. That's how we ended up with third female Cleopatra Pharaoh. Gotcha. Okay. But that's what happened, is the Macedonians came in and they just conquered. They conquered Egypt. Nothing unusual for the time period. Egypt's been conquered several times by several other countries, but Macedonia did a really good job of conquering them for a long time. And it's really funny because everyone doesn't know that. They're just like, oh, Cleopatra, she was Egyptian. Not really. Not really. Cleopatra was Macedonian. And I can tell you right now that knowing the Macedonians, and what little I do know about them, is the Macedonians are extremely genetic. The Macedonians did not breed outside of their own culture. Almost ever. That's not to say that Cleopatra wasn't a bit of a hoe. Cleopatra slept with whoever Cleopatra wanted to. She just didn't conceive with anybody that wasn't Macedonian. So that also stands true for the mothers that created Cleopatra III. She murdered both her brothers and banged both Caesar and Mark Antony. That is true. Yeah, so Cleopatra, extremely Macedonian, extremely Greek. And the only reason that it's kind of a point of context is because people like to be like, oh, Macedonia wasn't Greek. I mean, it was within the Greek kingdoms. You could also try to argue that Sparta and Athens weren't Greek. But they were all on the Greek peninsula. They all worked and traded together, and they kind of agreed as city-states that they were all in alliance under the Greek kingdom.
It's like saying that which this is accurate, but it's like saying the Irish and Welsh and the
I don't think that's quite it. I know where you're trying to go.
It's like calling people from that sectional area British. They're not all British, but you're not wrong in saying British either.
Yeah, no, I would think it's more like this. It's more like saying that because I'm in Washington and you're in Texas that we're not in the same country. That's actually a more accurate analogy, purely because that's how the Greek kingdoms were run. Each of them has a city-state that was individually governed outside of the other city-states, but overall, they all agreed that they were the Greek alliance of city-states that kind of defended each other and traded with each other and, used military to help support each other, etc., right? Yeah. That's a more accurate way to look at it, is like, yeah, sure, I'm in Washington, you're in Texas. We definitely have different ways of being run because, Texas being all hyper, like, right-wing and, up here where I'm at is everybody wants to pay, like, $5 a gallon for gas for some fucking reason and give the money, all their taxes to the government. But, like, yeah, beyond that, like, at the same time, we're both still one thing. We're both American. We're both American in America, born and raised. Simple. The same thing in there. Yes, one's Macedonian, the other one's Athenian, the other one's Spartan, but they're all Greek.
At least we're not French.
At least we're not French. I ain't got a white flag anywhere in me.
So,
Cake or death. Anyways.
cake or death. Tea and cake or death. Tea and cake or death. Little red cookbook. Little red cookbook.
I don't know the rest of this. I don't want to know. Don't even try. We're not watching that right now.
that whole comedy bit was just incredible. I loved, Eddie Izzard is fantastic. Although I did introduce my my brother, who also likes Eddie Izzard, to his Alcatraz bit, because we all went to Alcatraz on our vacation.
Yeah.
So
I had another post that popped off, but I can't think of what it was. I've had a few.
I know you
that
showed
have
us
been...
one last week. It
Yeah.
had to do with the ADHD / borderline personality disorder. Was that the one you're thinking of?
No, I think I had one other one that popped off. I've had a few that have been going off hard. I don't know what it was. It might have just been the ADHD one.
You're getting all that interaction, but you're not getting people to come to the stream.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's my theory. The reason people aren't coming to the stream, because I'm up to 132 followers already on Twitter in like a week. Here's the reason it's not converting. And it has nothing to do with Twitter specifically. It's that because of the way Twitter algorithm has worked, it's kind of just really cornholed me in with all the libertarians. And because I'm me, of course I'm going to engage with them in conversation about politics and libertarianism. And of course that just means that I'm getting more and more libertarians. I kind of am.
Like,
because this
isn't
isn't
libertarian. Just throw him in the libertarian pile.
Well,
don't push any of his stuff.
Well, it's not even just that, right? We're getting pushed. That's not the problem. I'm getting pushed really well, actually. The issue is simple. Because I'm on there talking about libertarian stuff, even if people were to come and watch this show from my Twitch or from my Twitter, this isn't what they're going to expect. Most of my posts are about politics. None of this show is seriously about politics.
Well, I guess when we start doing freedom, when freedom comes first, that'll be a
I absolutely
more
think so. Yeah, I absolutely think freedom comes first is going to be a very popular cast among my audience, both current and future, because it's going to be something that like, oh, okay, he actually does this whole podcast called Freedom Comes First. Let's go check it. And that's where the channel takes off on its own, right? But like, that's going to be a different podcast. It's going to not be on Twitch. There's no way. There's no shot I can talk about the things I'm going to talk about on there on Twitch. I don't know. I might reach out to Clancy and see what he has to say about that.
I'm
interested in that. I'm thinking Kick or Rumble, to be honest.
I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my business page on Twitter, because I could just use it as a shit posting platform, but I also don't want to bring any negative attention to my business. So it's like I'm kind of stuck on what I want to do with it. I could just make it like a completely joke Twitter account.
But yeah, it's to the point where I even have this as my pinned post. I'm so sorry to anyone that comes to my podcast from X thinking it's a political cast. I'm working on one, I promise. But if you do like a beer with guys type cast, you're more than welcome here.
No, I think you should still link. I think you should link your channel to.
Oh, it's all linked. There. Everything's linked.
Well, no, I know. Well, I know you have it linked on your link tree.
I was gonna say everything's linked. It's all here.
I'm just saying, take the actual Twitch link and put it in that pinned post.
Nah. Not unless I pay to promote. Which I can't even pay to promote. I haven't tried to promote anything for the business. But I tried to promote a post about my... I love this, by the way. This is great.
Oh, that is great.
I fucking love all of this. Let's fuck. But like, I tried to... oh, here we go! Nobody wants to get rid of white people. That's a far-right conspiracy. Okay, then, now show me a picture of the Founding Fathers. We were talking about this earlier. This is what fucking Google AI has been doing. Look at that shit. What the fuck?
They also the women would have never dressed like that. Never would have dressed like that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. This is like the most stereotypical thing that never happened.
Like they would never have that much skin exposed for that time period. It would never have happened.
Pretentious Kraken says, I took all my old stuffies and packed a giant stuffy with a zipper with them and have inadvertently made a weighted animal. I am a genius. Interesting. Are you using it like a way to like...
I like how you casually bypass a perfect woman post.
Oh, that's a great post. The ideal woman? Yeah. I'm going to keep on going because I'm not trying to piss anybody off. Listen, everybody, something's not right. Please turn back. Shut up, idiot. They say this for the common good. Conspiracy theorist. Like I
And here's the
said,
thing: even the ones that are falling off the cliff, they would still be criticizing the
all
guy
the way
warning everyone.
to the damn ground.
all the way down until their death.
This comic is over 80 years old, and yet you don't have to change a thing about it. It's every bit as relevant today as when it was drawn.
Yep.
Everyone's starving except
Absolutely.
war.
I actually have multiple weighted blankets that I don't ever use. Kraken. I don't know why.
If this isn't, by the way, if this is not the most American post I've ever seen,
That's great. I love it.
it's the most American thing I've ever seen.
I just really like the America F yeah bit with the one marching bald eagle. Have you seen that?
I think I've seen it, yeah. Do you see this?
Yep, I've seen it.
It's a pentagon, hexagon, octagon, and your money gone.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. Somebody put this up. We're locked in a room together for 5 hours. What we doing? I said, if you've ever read Lord of the Flies,
Oh no. Oh no.
um, okay, actually, that's a fun one to talk about. So, for those of you that have never read The Lord of the Flies, context. Lord of the Flies is more or less about these kids that get trapped on an island by themselves with nobody to rescue them. And of course, they're kids, so they have to learn to kind of survive and defend themselves, whatever, right? Yeah, when you're not really trained in what's civil and functional and okay, what ends up happening is you kind of tend to start getting a little violent, and like food and resources start to dwindle. You start killing each other to maintain your own life by keeping your resources. And that's what kind of happens in Lord of the Flies is one of them kind of starts going insane and killing the others. And even like goes to the point where they like stick a pig's head on a pike. And they're watching as the flies are eating this pig's head. And he starts referring to it as the Lord of the Flies. It's been a long time, so I'm of course very paraphrasing here. And he starts worshiping this as his idol of death as he's killing these other kids on the island. So that was kind of the joke is, if you locked me in a room with somebody for 5 hours, you ever seen Lord of the Flies? I don't know if I can handle just being locked in a room with somebody for 5 hours straight. It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm a lot more level-headed than that.
Well, you and I would last in a room for 5 hours.
I don't know about that, bro. I think I'd kill you after one. You specifically. Because you'd be like in there like, so what do you want to talk about? Bro, shut the fuck up.
So I got a theory about the flat hole.
Oh, God, yeah. Stuff like that. No, not even just that. Not even just that, bro. It'd be the fact that we'd be sitting in there and be like, if you just talk to me, the time would go faster. Bro, shut the fuck up. Oh, man.
Oh man.
I wouldn't kill you. No, you and I would end up on some weird ass tangent, like autismal tangent about something for 5 hours straight. And they'd go to open the door and we'd be like, no, just close it a little longer. We were on to something. We were on to something just now. We got to finish this conversation. If you let us out, I'm going to lose my fucking train of thought. Oh man, I love
Well, I need a
this one.
safe word.
Well, I need a
My
safe
safe
word.
word is pineapple juice.
Pop. The fuck is wrong with you? I'd buy a snack first before they shut the door for sure.
I'm gonna rate my driver like 1 star. He's copping an attitude.
We work jobs that we. Oh, you guys can't even see this full screen. It says we work jobs that we hate to buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like. And this is why I don't care. I just work the job I want to work. Ugh, my Twitter feed is so cool. So cool that everybody here should follow it. Ride the elevator with me. I'll just take the next one. This was a conversation that went kind of crazy too.
Yeah, the whole I'm not gonna be stuck in private with a woman because there's
Too many chances of them facing me with false allegations. Yeah.
too many things that can go wrong. If it's not my wife, I'm not gonna be alone.
Do you remember when I was laughing the other day about the NYPD dance squad? Terrified mugger flees as NYPD dance squad arrives.
They're like zombies.
I may have said on the Twitter post that was talking about it that I first ran into. I was like, they warm up by curling Krispy Kremes. uh,
Oh no.
oh, fuck the wall of text it would give you. Yeah, I mean it depends on what you're doing. The more you post and the more you like things, the more the algorithm tends to kind of shoo you into the right things.
Me with 3 acorns in my pocket.
Have you seen that? I showed you guys that like a couple weeks ago, right? The cop that fucking freaked out.
Because of an acorn?
Yeah, because of an acorn hitting the roof of his squad car as he was walking past it and he thought he'd gotten shot. Did I not put that on the podcast a couple weeks ago? I swear to God I did.
You probably did. I don't remember it though.
Holy hell. That is PTSD. It could be, but either way, he didn't get hit and he did the fucking double barrel roll and everything. Do a barrel roll.
Full barrel roll.
Any weapons on you today? Me with 3 acorns in my pocket. Just find a hole and hope for the best. Gender neutral
Non-binary.
tampons.
Oh no. Oh no.
An acorn hits your car.
Look.
Barrel roll, mag dump it, shout I'm hit, all of the above. Oh, look at this mousetrap though. Hold on. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's a gunshot with a wad.
If you don't need it, do not encourage the feminine hygiene tax hike.
True.
Honestly, I think tax hikes are all irresponsible in the first place. So
Only cops have the training and professionalism to handle firearms responsibly. The cops.
why is he shooting a bunch of pecans?
Doesn't matter. They're seeds falling from trees and he's scared. So he's mag dumping. Oh, I am not going to stop laughing about this because I'm so tired. Dude, it's like Tom McDonald said it in a song. It's one of those lines that's always stuck with me. He says, order food and call the cops and see who gets to you first. It's a whole thing where he's talking about gun control and how stupid gun control is. Because it's true. Order food, call the cops. Who's getting to your house first? Probably the food.
I think in my section of the woods,
It's going to be the cops. But I'm
the
saying
cops are going to arrive first. But that's just because they're bored.
Well, on top of that, in your section of the woods, the cops are scared to come to you first in the first place.
So if
you're
I need
outside
the
of
cops,
county lines, you can shoot whoever the fuck you need to protect your land.
well-
it's Texas.
Well, yeah, and if I'm calling because I need the cops, they're coming quick because something bad is about to happen.
Right. I read what she said too. That kind of caught me up. Dick China. That's exactly it, though. If you're living in like New York City or something where the traffic's really bad, it's hard to get around, call for food and call for the cops and see what gets to you first. 100% of the time in New York City, you're getting your food first. Somebody on a messenger bike is going to get you your damn food faster than a cop will get to your house. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. Gun control is stupid. You should have a gun. Everybody should have a gun. Everybody should have a gun. I don't care if you're a criminal. I don't care if you're a good guy or a bad guy. Everybody should have a gun. And you know why? You know why I can say that? And I can say that wholeheartedly and honestly? If everyone has a gun, nobody's going to shoot one. Because you open fire one time, the whole room unloads on you. It's that fast.
Yep.
Gun education is the issue, not the guns themselves.
That's one of the reasons why I actually really like Texas is that even felons can't carry guns in public, but they can.
Dehydrated bitch.
I am out of water. I am out of water.
Motherfucker, I forgot to grab water. Gotta go get some fucking water. It's fucking hard to get in and out of my desk.
I'm gonna go refill.
I just knocked my goose off. Gotta get my fucking goose. Goose back on the desk. Ugh. Ugh. I knocked off my goose. All right. That one is on me. Yeah, you forgot about my goose? He's magnetic. I love my magnetic goose. Okay. I also have Ryu and Akuma doing Hadokens.
Ugh.
It's not doing a very good job of focusing.
Is them alley brawlers?
No, they're pins. They're the coolest pins I've ever gotten.
Alley brawler pins?
I hate you so much. Oh. Anyways, yeah.
Anyway, what I was saying, I really like Texas because, yes, felons cannot own and carry guns in public, but they can own guns at home and keep it at home, and they can defend themselves at home.
Yeah.
Even if they are felons, and there's no restriction in that regard.
Yeah. Placebo effects are
Found my
actually working.
crystals.
Don't care. It helps with the anxiety because the brain be powerful. Yeah, placebo effect be that way. We need to unite our divided nation. Second Civil War. Rig the election. Leave people alone.
Your felon X moved to Texas. All right, good night, Miss Kate.
Night, Kate. You have a felon X?
And apparently he's in Texas.
Here's some food porn for you, Skittles.
It looks like a meat disc. I love it.
It's so good. That shit'll fucking straight up melt in your face.
I would love it.
Give that meat right in the mouth.
I really want to go to there's a new fanciest restaurant in Dallas.
What is
I
it?
would say new, but even though it's only been here for like 2 years, Monarch.
Tell me about this shit, or are you just gonna say its name?
Man. So I'm pulling it up on my computer right now. Chill.
Hold the phone. Hold on. Kraken says yes. He killed some people with his car and got fucked up for life, both mentally and physically.
You know, that's on him. Like,
bro, that's dark as fuck.
The chef is Michelin star, but it's an Italian restaurant, and it has a whole lot of like just phenomenal looking food, and I really want to go, but I don't really have
money,
$500 to $800 to drop on a single dinner.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But it's and I would drop $500 to $800 on dinner at this place. I wouldn't go like, yeah, I could go for the cheap stuff, but I want to have like the actual like the good stuff. So, and that would be expensive. So the dinner menu right here. The
You'll have to tell me sometime, Kraken. I'm very intrigued.
So on the Butcher's Reserve, there's a tomahawk I would love to get. It's a 45-day dry aged tomahawk, 38 ounces, $240. Or you can get a full
Wouldn't you
tasting
just
of their
split
menu.
that? Wouldn't you just split the tomahawk with somebody though?
You could.
Tomahawks are
But
typically like fucking like 3 pounds.
yes.
You're not
So
gonna
or you can
eat
get
3 pounds of meat.
look, I would try.
Don't you fucking dare try, first of all.
Okay, or you could go for the tasting where you just basically get a little bit of everything. It's called the Royale. It's $290. And you get it's just a lot of the whole menu.
So are you gonna take your doctor bitch to that date?
She was very upfront and forward with me, and she said that she does not want to go on another date with me. So didn't pan out.
Oh, okay.
Which
Hold on. You didn't tell me about this for a reason. What did you do?
That was as of last night.
What'd you do?
She didn't
Pretentious
specify
Kraken
what.
26 says ducking duck dace ducker.
She just said that it doesn't seem like it'd be a good fit, and she's happy to have a new friend.
You, 5 minutes later, bitch, we ain't friends.
We're not friends. Look.
You're tired of feeding women that don't want anything else.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't have many friends at all, and I keep it that way. I usually keep it. I
It's
have a
so
lot of
much better
acquaintances.
that way.
I have many acquaintances. I have very few friends.
It's so
and of
much
the friends
better
that I
that way.
do have, and of the friends I do have, there are not very many that I would. There's not many women that I would ever qualify to be friends with me.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Well, and the other thing is like this too. You're a perfectly decent human being that has most of the qualifications women are looking for in a man. I can wholeheartedly say that. You're a decent human being with almost everything a woman is looking for. You're a little on the short side, which is like oh well, fuck that. That's
Whatever.
not great.
My
But
height
like
has nothing to do with the
but
fact
like
of
you have
anything else.
you have good money. You're a consistent individual. You do things you're gonna do, and you're pretty much on point with everything you say you're gonna do. You stick to your schedule. You have a house. Like, these are 3 things that just right out the gate, that should be qualifying for most women. And yet nobody's giving you the time of day. And that's not even on you anymore. Like, you have your issues for sure. But I can tell you, as somebody that's worked with you a lot through these issues, they're not nearly as bad as they were. Like, at all. So women not giving you a chance, it's their fucking fault.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm not ever gonna cry about it because eventually at a certain point, I'm just gonna follow the passport bro kind of.
Oh, dude, you should go to the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna come home with a gorgeous, submissive little wife that just wants to be your everything.
And then nuptials happen. I'm like, she's a guy.
No, seriously, the passport bro is the way to go. It really is.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah. One thing, and you know what? For my family's sake, I'm not allowed to do a Filipina chick, just because my mom said you are not allowed to date or marry a Filipina girl.
Your mother is Filipina?
No, my mother's. Wait, who?
Kraken.
Not my mom. Oh, Kraken. Yeah, no. My mom said I'm not allowed to date a Filipina girl because, quote, they talk too much.
Shut the fuck. That sounds like something your mother would say too.
It's just like it's not that I want them to be quiet. It's just they just never shut up.
You like egg roll? I bring you more egg roll. I gotta stop making jokes like that. I'm gonna get actually in trouble. Trying to be funny.
Which I mean, I just thought the whole thing was hilarious. But I said, okay, that's fine. I won't go to the Philippines. Don't worry.
Okay, Korea. No, I'm just kidding.
Someone messaged me. Oh no,
What?
this is not the person I wanted to message me.
Who messaged you?
Anyway, someone from North Dakota.
Is it the guy you lived with that's Pitbull tried to eat your face?
No.
Oh.
Girl.
A
The
girl
one that you
messaged you
don't
and you
like.
got upset. Oh, that one? The fat
Yes.
bitch?
Well, she's not fat anymore, I'll tell you that.
Oh. She's skinny now?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? She back on drugs?
She was.
I like how you're like, I hate that you just know exactly how she lost
Well,
the
like,
weight.
I mean, okay, look. Let's be fair. People live in North Dakota and have a plethora of problems, usually. And 90% of the time it involves drugs.
Remember, Scott, don't forget to pay your taxes this year. Other countries are depending on it.
I know, right? I'm having to just like file and not pay because it's actually illegal to it's illegal to not file, but it's not illegal to not pay.
That's not true at all, but it's okay.
So
Some say Charmander is the best, some say Squirtle is. But deep down, we all know guns save more lives than they take.
yeah, Bulbasaur's not the best.
Spent acorn casings.
Oh,
It's too good.
we got this nice Twitter pipeline. You really just went hard with the acorn.
I was laughing so hard.
Okay,
Oh, man.
according to Kraken, Filipino girls will worship the ground I walk on. Not even a joke. I'm sure they would. I'm just not allowed. I'm not allowed. I would honestly. I would go for a.
Negate the effect of any card played and makes you mag dump into your own patrol unit.
Um.
Oh god, this is too fun. Did you know there was a canceled Mortal Kombat game? Google
Oh,
MK
no.
Ultra for more information.
We saw this last week.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, we're getting back into the old stuff.
Okay, but did you see this last week? There's a new killer bullet on the street.
Known as a Woody.
Since they
I
target
thought-
sheriffs.
That's not what my Woodies look like.
It's just a fucking acorn loaded in behind a shotgun shell.
Shown with a concealable folding AR-15.
Oh, I love it. I love Twitter so much some days. This shit's just too fucking funny. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and turn off that feed real quick. What was it? There was something that came to mind just now that I was gonna talk about, and now it's gone.
I don't know. We were talking about a lot of racism and a lot of.
You! Why? Why do you make things
is it
that
not,
are
is it not racist?
okay? But you make things so easy to clip out of context sometimes. Like, I mean, I guess technically at our size right now, all publicity is good publicity. But like, what the fuck, bro? I'm so fucking white. I'm fucking walking gold over here. I don't get that. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, you know what? Did we read the one thing that where it's like it was a Filipina people finally see a white person walk into their hamburger store and the white person, because the hamburgers are so cheap, they order like 25 of them.
No.
I gotta find this. I'm gonna find this.
What the fuck? Also, this back scratcher. Oh, it's to die for.
Hang on, white person orders.
That was you in the Philippines?
28.
You've been to the Philippines? Kraken, how is this not something that came up on the podcast?
Hang on. Where's the
Also, Kraken, let me know when you want to
amazing.
schedule another episode. It was super fun.
Philippines?
Scott is waiting with masterfully bated breath.
What? I'm waiting with masterfully bated breath.
Yes, masterful baited.
Masterfully baited.
Yes,
Masterfully baited.
something like that. I think maybe. What?
Did I send? I know I sent it to you. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know that you sent me anything, bro. You send me shit all the fucking time.
I send you all sorts.
I
of
don't know
stupid
what
things.
happened, but I was nice enough to start messaging a few people a few memes, and now every fucking day between you, Mike, and Clarissa, I never stop getting fucking memes.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna hang on.
I'm
gonna
just
send this to
saying,
you
everybody
again.
messages me fucking way too much now, and my autism's kicking my ass.
Here, I'm
just like too
replying to
much
myself.
shit.
This one. There you go. Go ahead and pull that up. It's great.
This?
The Jollibees. Just
Oh,
the
right
whole
above
story
it.
is. Yeah, yeah. You click on the image that it's attached to.
I was in the Philippines and ordered 30 Yum Burgers from Jollibee's because they were so cheap. My action caused a huge scene because I was in a remote city that rarely sees white people in the magnitude of burgers I ordered. Never see a white person in all 35 years of your life. Hear stories about how much they eat. Think that's impossible. Nobody could stomach that much. One day, skinny white man arrives. Astounding. What a novelty. But surely the rumors must be false. See how thin he is. Follow him into local Jollibees to confirm. Orders 30 fucking burgers. 3 fucking 0. Go home to tell wife. Tell her we must sell everything. Need to open hot dog stand in America. We will be fabulously wealthy. This is Scott's whole business plan right here.
Right, exactly.
Open a hot dog stand in America, become fabulously wealthy. His whole business plan in a nutshell.
Yep.
That's
if only I just.
that's
If only
pretty
I
funny.
would stop getting removed from the stockyards.
You haven't really told me anything about that yet.
Okay, so actually, yeah, well, we were supposed to get into it, which I did you
Failed.
even change? I have not said it. Well, we kind of dove down this rabbit hole. Your of your Twitter, but in any case,
Don't
so what
fucking
happened?
blame me.
I was all ready for it. I
What
was
the
ready to tell
fuck?
you the story.
Go.
Anyway, so what happened was on Saturday, I set up like just like normal. And hang on, I'm reading what Kraken wrote. Because speaking, legit asked if I was actually white or if I was a ghost. Okay. So on Saturday, I go set up in the stockyards just like normal. Super busy night, kind of difficult to set up. I finally get to my spots set up. Lost my grill plate. Went and found another grill plate. Got it all put together.
Okay, hold on. Lost your grill plate?
Yeah, no, the lid on my grill, for whatever reason, popped open. So, and the grill plate that was inside of it flew out of the car, so I had to go to Home Depot and get a new one.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was not great.
Well, it was plate though.
Yeah.
You didn't get it great.
Yeah, no, I got a plate. Well, whatever it was, I got it. So now
You're like, fuck off, dude. I know what you said.
well, it was actually great.
I hate you.
It wasn't great. So
anyways,
first officer shows up and he says, "Hey, you got a permit to be here?" And I said, "Yep, here's my permit. It's right here on the back of my cart. There it is." It's like, "Oh, cool. Just wanted to make sure." And I said, "Yep, it expires at the end of next month." I said, "Okay, sounds good to me." And he leaves. Second officer shows up and is like, "Hey, you got to leave." I said, "Okay, so why do I got to leave?" And it's, "Well, we've been getting complaints that you're not supposed to be here." I'm like, I said, "Who says I'm not supposed to be here? I already, I already have, I'm allowed to be here. I'm allowed to park wherever it's free to park. I already got permission from City Hall that I can be here. So, what's the deal?" He says, "Oh yeah, we got a call from the Stockyards Business Association." Which, if you were to pull up a picture of the Stockyards Business Association, it's a whole bunch of just like really tubby, lazy, indolent bitches.
Okay.
So apparently someone was not happy with me setting up and selling hot dogs to the various people that were walking up and down the street, which there was always these giant lines on Fridays and Saturday nights going into the one bar that I set up in front of. So that's why I set up there.
Right.
So apparently because they don't have a way to actually extort money from me, they want to remove me from the stockyards. So now I went to the city hall again, got it in writing that yes, I am allowed to be there. But the only thing I'm missing is it's called the certificate of appropriateness, which I'm just waiting on them to send me that certificate.
Can you actually define what a certificate of appropriateness is?
Basically, because it's the
No,
historical
no.
stock,
Basically, I want to know exactly.
they want to make sure that everything that goes on in the stockyards it follows a proper business model that is conducive to the flow of commerce and the flow
Okay.
of whatever cultural experience is there.
Is that
So,
the issue? Is that you aren't necessarily a culturally accurate thing?
well, it's even if I wasn't, wouldn't matter because there are lots of other culturally inaccurate things there that it
I
wouldn't.
mean, I've been to the Stockyard several times. I most of the stuff there is like beef and barbecue and
Okay, and then honestly, the Armadillo Bar playing a whole bunch of uh, you know, R&B that has nothing to do with cowboys. No, it has nothing. Like
right. But what is the business model inside of it?
it's a bar and a club.
Yeah, and it's Western themed, even if they're not playing Western
Sure.
music.
Even if it's Western themed, whatever. Are you saying there's no street meat in the Wild West?
I'm saying hot dogs probably weren't a thing.
And even then, when on my application for the certificate of appropriateness, they didn't ask what I was selling.
So what are they
All it was
asking?
is they're just saying, "Hey, you got to submit this form, then we'll get it back to you." It's just like, "What's your business? What's your business name? What do you want to do?" I said, "I
Yeah.
want to sell food. This is my business name."
Yeah.
That's it.
Argue that it is a
So,
sausage. That I would agree
mean,
with. Argue that you're selling sausages, not hot
well,
dogs.
ultimately, it's just in somebody's queue of things to approve, and once it is approved, and the cop was kind of cordial. I really wish I could have. I really wish I had an opportunity to actually record the whole incident. It just happened in like a minute, and I was holding on to a hot dog like half the time. So
This man really holding his wiener the whole time he's
I
talking to
know
a cop.
someone was like literally trying to like pay for his food and get his hot dog.
Yeah.
And this cop shows up and he said he was about as cordial as you could probably expect in that kind of a situation,
Right.
considering how surrounded we all were, you know.
Did
And
you?
and
I
the
thought
and the
you
co-
went. Didn't you go somewhere else after that? Then.
I did. I went to Pogues.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you left for Pogues
So
because I remember seeing a
yeah,
Facebook or like a post about it, and I was like, "Huh, I wonder what happened." He'll
yeah.
tell me later, I'm sure.
So I went to Pogues, but basically the cop said, if you know something I don't, then great. Just shoot me an email with the information and go to City Hall, talk to them, and say, hey, I got kicked out for this reason. And I didn't actually go to City Hall and say that specifically. I just said, hey, I just want to make sure I'm allowed to be there
Right.
because because there's if I'm trying to like I don't want to argue from a position of weakness. I want to argue from a position of, hey, I'm being inquisitive here. I just want to make sure. I want to double check. I want to be fastidious in my efforts here, which tends to be a lot more productive.
Yeah.
I'm not brown nosing a cop. I'm gonna. But what I did leave pretty much immediately, even though people were just constantly trying to buy stuff off me as I was putting stuff in my car.
Right.
So and of course he had a whole biker gang just parked right next to me, and they were all upset that I was getting kicked out.
Right.
And none of the customers were happy that I was.
Well, yeah, because you had a bunch of people that were just waiting to get their food, and then this cop walks up and was like, "Well, close shop, motherfucker. Get out of here."
Yeah, and the cop said, "Hey, look,
some fat hoe at City Hall or at the local association said you're not supposed to be here."
Yeah, and look, and the cop said, "Look, I completely support your business. I like what you're doing. It's not my call.
Right.
I'm just told that this is what I'm supposed to do. I've been around for 25 years. This is what we've been doing. This is what we've been told to do. we shut down literally every street vendor that shows up, which apparently not supposed to be. They're not supposed to do that,
Right.
according to City Hall. But nobody questions it.
Nobody questioned.
Like,
Well, and here's the problem I have with that, and this is why I said you should have recorded it. You have every right to sue for at least damages for that night, because that was probably what, a $700-800, maybe even $1,000 night. That was on Saturday, right?
The legal argument would come down to, did you have all of your certificates and licenses in order to be there? Which technically no.
Sure,
I
but
did
you
not.
had permission from City Hall in the first place.
Yep, but even then,
and you'd been selling at the stockyard for months.
Yep.
So that's the thing. You're not wrong, but you're also not right. The legal argument in that situation is that this has already been an ongoing business practice for a while, and they have suddenly taken interest in you because they feel like you were diverting business away from other businesses, which is not a legal reason to remove a business. That's called non-competition. Competition is a legal requirement under the current statutes in Texas. So for them to force you out, to basically prevent you as competition from competing with restaurants and bars nearby that also sell food, it's illegal for them to do that. Paperwork or not, because you already had permission as a street vendor with all your licenses otherwise in place, besides this new license that they did not tell you about for months of operation. You had every legal right to be where you were, not to be removed on one of the busiest nights of business in the week without any warning. If they had asked you to finish your business for the night and then leave, aka take care of the customers in line and any future customers up until the end of the night, that would have been a different conversation. But instead, they interrupted your business in an attempt to strong-arm you away from your business. And any good lawyer worth his salt would use that exact argument in a court case. Guaranteed you get at least 2 nights damages. Guaranteed. Because you also haven't been back since, right?
I have not been back since.
We're coming up in spring right now. The stockyards are in full swing at this point because it's still cool enough outside to enjoy being outside. This is like one of the busiest times of year you could be at the stockyards, and you're losing business waiting for a certificate. They should be paying you damages right now out of that community fund for the money that you're losing in actual revenue.
Yep, and that's
That
something
is
that
my
I'm
legal
going to be.
argument.
And that's something I'm going to be talking to him once I do have the certificate, because I don't want to reach out to him and say, hey, I did get permission. I'm waiting on. I mean, I guess I could talk to him tomorrow and say, hey, I did get confirmation that I'm allowed to be there. There's one certificate that I'm waiting on that's more or less a formality, but I can show you the email that I got.
I'm just saying,
which basically says that. But my argument to him will then be under the 6th Amendment, because in accordance with the 6th Amendment, I have a right to know who exactly complained.
yes,
I have a right to face my accuser.
that is correct.
So I would say, hey, you need to tell me exactly who it was that complained,
Yes.
because that's my 6th Amendment right.
Yep. And I would use that. And that's what I'm trying to get to, is basically they're using the ignorance of local municipality police to strong arm you out so that you can't compete in that business market with local businesses that have brick and mortars. And while I understand, I want you to understand that I'm not agreeing with them, but I understand why they want to do it. It is because you are actively a threat to people around you at a much lower cost point. Because you are selling hot dogs for cheaper. You do not have a brick and mortar that you're paying rent on. You own your trailer. You're making money hand over fist with almost no overhead by comparison to the businesses around them. So you are undercutting other businesses.
I'm the only food available after midnight.
Okay, after midnight, but not before. And I guarantee you're still serving food before midnight.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
That's kind of the point I'm trying to make, is they're trying to cut your business for it.
Yep. But, it's just interesting to see, for me, like one of the things I keep thinking about is cops like to use the excuse that being ignorant of the law is no excuse for breaking the law. Yet here is an example of a cop being ignorant to the law and still breaking the law and still being allowed to break the law.
Yes.
So, I mean, and if I do decide to pursue legal action, which I don't think it's the cops' fault,
but you definitely have room to sue the police department for them not having any correct reason, because at that point it is not a it is a domestic dispute as far as
Which,
how it is supposed to be handled, which you are supposed, unless things are violent, they are not supposed to do anything about it.
yeah,
The fact is that the community standard or community group that's in charge of that area does not own the sidewalk. The city does. And the city told you you could be there.
yep,
Historical district be damned. You were allowed to be where you were allowed to be.
yep. And that's what my whole purpose was yesterday, was just figuring out exactly where I'm allowed to go, where I'm allowed to be, what I'm allowed to do,
Yeah.
and I
I
have all that documentation, and I can forward it to the right people, and I can say,
I
hey, look,
I
I am
can't
actually
tell
allowed to
you
be
what
here.
to do. I can't tell you what to do, but I would strongly encourage you to seek out a lawyer, get free counsel on it, and double check what I've said, because I can almost promise that a lawyer will do this for 50%. And yeah, you are still taking a loss, you're still getting washed just a little bit, but you lost. Again, you probably made $100 on a night that you normally make most of $1,000.
I lost about $800.
That's what I'm trying to say. You
So,
probably made $100, $200 on a night you would normally make around 1,000. That's not okay. Okay. That's not okay, because that is your livelihood. You are not working this job on the side of another job. This is your job. Your job is to sell wieners.
yep,
You are a
absolutely.
wiener slinging motherfucker on the street corners of DFW. For them to come in and interrupt your business without a legal reason, just because you're not paying some sort of tax or you're not paying rent somewhere, again, they're trying to strong arm you out. And that is not going to stop. I can promise you
Oh yeah,
that this certificate that you just get, they're going to find another one that suddenly you need to have. And then another one that you suddenly need to have. And they're going to keep finding reasons why you can't be opening shop on their street. And that's not legal. But
yep.
unless you stand up and fight back, it will continue to be that way.
Well, the question is, well, for me, because there's multiple ways I could do it. Yes, I could absolutely go scorched earth.
I wouldn't go scorched
And
earth.
well, no, I'm saying
It's a bitch
I'm
slap.
well, no, I'm going from I'm getting everything I need and being intelligent about fighting the battles that I need to fight. Because I
Sure.
mean, I could just like keep it low key, have the everything that I need, make sure that the police know, yeah, you're not allowed to actually mess with me because I'm allowed to be here.
Right.
And then from there, they can just say to the association, yeah, he's allowed to be there. You don't have any legal basis for harassing this guy.
See, that's the thing. I think you think what I am saying is an overreaction, but it's not.
I don't. I'm not saying it's an overreaction.
How
I'm saying
many how many
that's a method.
at the moment, with the fact that you have currently not been able to go back to the stockyards again during one of the busiest times of the year for the stockyards? I lived there. I know how much late winter, early spring brings people into the stockyards. It's gorgeous outside. Everyone's wearing either sweatshirts or shorts. You're still seeing mixed clothes because some people are better at being warm than others. But it is busy. It is hustle and bustle, especially on the weekends. If you consider everything you've lost from then, probably also Sunday, and then what is it now? Monday? That's 3 days that you haven't been able to stage out. Again, busiest time of the year. You add that all together, how much money have you probably lost, realistically?
Well, considering I don't set up Sundays or Mondays, I don't have any data for that, and I that wouldn't award me anything.
You
So
don't
I've only
need to
lost.
tell them that.
So I mean, if we're looking realistically, Mondays I wouldn't make much money.
Sure.
Sunday I'd probably make about as much as Saturday. So 16. It's about let's just round up to $2,000.
Yeah, conservatively around $2,000 minimum. That's not scorched earth. I guarantee that in the fees and rental alone, the people that are owning these buildings that are trying to keep you off their corner, they're making more than that. They can give you your $2,000. And any lawyer out there would say that that's a good reason to do it, just so that they don't aggress on other businesses that also have city permission to be setting up in that area. You're not
Yep.
going scorched earth. You're going stand your ground. which is a very Texas thing to do as well.
Yep, come and take it. Come and take my wiener.
Yeah, like literally though. Like stand your ground.
Well-
There's no reason why you need to be bullied out of there. There's no reason you should have lost money over the weekend. I get that you don't typically open on Sundays. You should be, by the way. I think it's stupid that you're missing out on that much money every week. But intrinsically, they interrupted your business. Therefore, the fair response, it's not scorched earth, it's tit for tat. And while I do think that an eye for an eye does make the world go blind, if we're all fucking blind together, then so fucking be it. And this is exactly that situation. There is no reason why you, as a business owner, should be bullied out by a... Because keep in mind, it wasn't the businesses that were pushing you out. You've been working next to these businesses for a while. It was some community manager or whatever that probably owns a stake in the buildings that these other businesses rent out of that saw you in their territory making money without having to pay them their due. Fuck that person.
And yes, Kraken, I actually do make that much. Like Saturdays, and I was selling out. Whenever I sell, I don't take as much as I think I should sometimes. But when I on my nights where I bring, well, I usually just make about $10 a hot dog. So if I'm selling 120 hot dogs, I'm making $1,200.
That's what I'm trying to say,
So-
though. It's crazy to me that you would see that as scorched earth. Like, hey, it's a small sum of money loss.
well,
but
no, I'm
again,
not- I'm
how
not-
many times
I'm
will they
not
push you
saying-
out?
I'm not saying that is scorched earth. I'm saying on a scale of do nothing to scorched earth, your response lies somewhere in the middle. I'm
Okay.
not saying that's scorched earth. Scorched earth would me going after the complete dissolution of the Stockyards Business Association as a result of them
See,
failing.
The irony is,
Yeah.
it's called the Stockyards Business Association, but I don't think it's a business association. I think
It's a soccer mom PTA.
I don't
but
think that's it
for-
either. I think if you really look into it, I bet my money, I would bet money that if you look into it, all of them have a stake of ownership in the rental installations that are throughout the stockyard.
Yeah, let's see. I mean,
I'm not saying go deep dive it right now. Like, we're near the end of the stream anyways, but like, I would wager actual cash. I would put $100 that a majority of the people that are part of that association have an actual holding and stake in the rental income that comes from that property. Because you got to keep in mind that what's going on in the stockyards specifically, where all the businesses are at, all the stalls, all the jerky shop, and all that shit that's back there, that isn't the stockyards. That was all built later. The stockyards are across the street. That's the historical part. It's all historical Dallas, and a lot of those buildings are maintained in a certain sort of way to maintain the integrity of the original designs. But the actual historical part of it is that mayor's place across the street, the stockyard stalls next to it. All that shit is real. They have an ownership of what's going on with those buildings, and they're just trying to collect their cut off of you. Or, more likely, they just want you gone. You're cutting into the rental of other people that are paying to be there, and you don't legally have to pay to be there because it is a public street.
yep. And here's the thing. I even offered. I went to each business and I said, "Hey, look, if you guys are willing to give me a dedicated spot to set up, I will give you a portion of my revenue to do it."
Well,
just to have a
it's hard to
spot.
do that because legally they're not really supposed to do that.
Well, I mean, if they any general manager of the business can allow me to do that, it's a matter of them letting me have a spot on the street as well as like endorsing a restroom note.
Right.
That's it. So, but in any case, I am currently in the process of doing all the right things. I'm working on getting the body cam footage. I'm working on I'm trying to decide how I want to approach the situation
The
because I
body
could
cam
go
footage should
after
be easy.
because I could go after the police officer. But the police officer was about as cordial as he could probably have been
Okay.
in this situation.
Let me reiterate. I already said it once, but let me reiterate because it's important to me to make sure we draw the distinction. It's great that he was polite, but his ignorance and enforcing the ignorance of others is problematic.
Yeah, the threat of a ticket is something I can pursue against him.
It wasn't even
But
just
the
the threat of a ticket. Him disrupting your business without actual legal standing is enough reason to sue the police department as well. Not for any major damages, just for minor damages to make sure that they're actually doing the right thing and actually doing things the way they're supposed to be doing and knowing their fucking laws. I mean, here's the thing. Here's why I'm so stalwart about this. I could understand this 20 years ago. Hell, I could understand this, we'll say 11 years ago. You want to know why?
Before the First Amendment audit kind of crowd.
No, not even that. Before fucking smartphones. My brother in Christ, we all have the entire world's information in our fucking pocket, including every law in every state and municipality.
These specific policies, though, are not publicly accessible.
If they're not
That's
publicly
it.
accessible, they're not law.
Or either that or they're not easily accessible. I could probably find it if I dig hard enough.
No matter how you
But-
try to rephrase what I just said, that makes them not law and therefore not enforceable by a law officer. No matter how you try to put it, he was 100 times over in the wrong to remove you from a site without legal standing. That's my point.
Yeah, so the question is, do I go after the
Both.
officer? Or do I could go after both.
You bring charges against both. Not the officer. You bring charges against the police station. Whatever district officer or whatever district that officer came from, you bring charges against that station. At least, at minimum, you force a public apology. Because it's just embarrassing enough that while it probably will piss him off, they probably won't fuck with you a second time. It's not a scorched earth thing either. It's just a reminder that at the end of the day, I pay taxes and you serve me. That's the right way to look at it. Guys, I know time is money. I appreciate that you spent yours with us. I know it got a little bit weird at the end there with me talking about legal things, but I felt like it was an important thing to discuss. And I think it's an important thing to be on the internet, to understand your rights and to understand that enforcing your rights is your job, not theirs. You, the person who has rights, needs to uphold your rights. It's not up to anybody else but you. The second you leave it up to somebody else, they change the fucking rules behind your back, which is exactly what happened to Scott this last week. Again, I know time is money. I appreciate that you spent yours with us. Scott, do you have anything outro that you would like to say to the audience?
Kitty.
God damn it. Thank
Put
you
my
again.
wiener in your mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I know time is money. I appreciate y'all. We'll see you next week.